Guys, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Priscilla. I make YouTube videos about career, travel and lifestyle. I take you along as I adult, and yeah, so we discuss different topics on my channel. So hope you enjoy and hope you stay. Anyway, today is Get Ready With Me. As I thought I would just discuss and talk with you guys. I sometimes I miss doing my makeup on camera. I don't even know why. So but the topic for today is it's a story time. I know that most of you probably are new here, and you may not know that I lost my parents when I was very, very young. I was how old? I don't quite remember. It's been so many years. But I just wanted to discuss and talk with you guys about dealing with that pain and how to overcome and be courageous, you know, as you go through that journey. If you are on that journey, I'm not a grief expert. I'm just sharing my own story of how I have dealt with the grief and the absence, you know, over the years. So I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, okay. Come, let's do this. So guys, my parents died, like I think as a year or so apart from each other, and you cannot imagine. I already primed my face, and I'm using the two First Born this way and the Estee Lauder foundation together. I like the way they like sort of like sit on the skin, and because my Estee Lauder is a bit darker than my Too Faced Born This Way, and so that's why I tend to mix both of them. I really need to buy a mirror for my Get Ready With Me's, but I just some reason I never. Anyway, so yeah, my parents died a year apart or so. And you know, in African families, when someone is deceased, it's like they were never there. So in my family, we never really talked much. Like so we went to bury, and you know, we moved on. And it's like we never ever talked about the fact that we had just lost my parents. And I understand that, you know, when you're young, you don't, of course, understand what's going on like properly. But I think I had an idea that, you know what, mommy and daddy are gone, and yeah, but I had an amazing family. I have an amazing family, and I was raised, and for me, I never ever lacked. I mean, I'm not your typical. It was not my stories. I understand I'm very privileged. It's very different because I know when most people lose their biological parents, life really changes. Life, as you know, it changes. So I'm really happy that with us, we had such an amazing support system that, you know, that didn't happen to us. But you know, over and above that, I think I've talked about this in one of my other videos with Kathy, which I will put in the description box below. There's more than just having a roof over your head and food, you know, and clothes and going to school. I know those things are important, but also there is that emotional pain that you go through as a person who has just, as a child especially, because I was young, you know, who has just lost their parents. And I find that we don't talk about it much in our family. So in my family, when we buried my dad, then my mom died, I think was almost a year or so after, we never talked about it. Like we just acted like business as usual. And for me, I think I was hurting, you know. I was hurting because I'm like, guys, come on, explain to us what has happened. Yes, like, okay, but no one wanted to talk about it. My mothers were also dealing with the pain, and now in hindsight, as an adult, I understand where they were coming from. I think when you are a child, you only think about yourself, yeah. But now I realize that they were also mourning the loss of their beloved sister. My mom was their last born actually, and of course they were also mourning the loss of their sister. My grandma was mourning the loss of her daughter, you know. So I think, but for me at that time, I was like, you know what, guys, I just lost my mother. Like, I don't know what all of you I think, you know, not talking about this, yeah. And trust me, even up to today, there are days and there are moments when I miss her. You know, she died when I was young, so I didn't know her so much. But I think after as time went on, we started talking about her, like my mother's, and it was talking about her because I think we realized, look, we need to talk and heal. We cannot act like she was never here. So as I go older, and I think we started talking about my mom more, and I started like telling me more about my mom because I think they realized I also needed to know who she was as a woman. And I think one of the reasons I blog and just keep these video diaries is if I have children one day and I should, God forbid, should I die before they are of age, I want them to look back and sort of know who their mother was, you know, because I really miss knowing who my mom was. I know she was an artist, I know she loved makeup, I know she was a very feminine woman, but I'm also curious to know more about, you know, who she was beyond all those things and stuff like that. So anyway, yes, and so one of the things I want to talk about in terms of how to deal with pain and grief as an adult who lost their parents when they were young, because you know when you're young you don't process that that pain, and then when you get older, I remember being in like high school on visitation, and I would see parents, like kids with their mothers and fathers, and I started like, I would feel so bad because I'm like, oh, I wish my mom was here, I wish my dad was here, you know. And of course I didn't want to raise that at home because I didn't want to seem ungrateful, you know. Yeah, because honestly my life was good, like I was happy, like I was getting everything I wanted. I went to the best schools, there was no discrimination at home, so I didn't want to talk about it because I did not want to come off as unhappy. And I think that's something that happens when you are, I don't want to say orphan, but when you are a child growing up without your biological parents, there is that feeling that you have to be grateful for those who are taking care of you, and you cannot make them uncomfortable, you cannot make them angry. So I realized when I was in therapy, I realized that my people pleasing actually came from that. And it was no one made it, how do I say, no one told me not to say those things, trust me, but it's just you as a person, you start to perceive it that way because you feel like, oh my god. And also because the narrative that everyone has around people who grew up without their biological parents in other homes is that, oh my god, they've taken you in, you should be so grateful, they are so good, so you should be grateful. I remember someone actually in school, a teacher telling me how I should be so grateful for my parents who took me in as a child who didn't have their biological parents, and I should never ever do something bad to annoy them because I was very naughty in school. If you went to my high school, you remember I was extremely naughty. And then that teacher was like, oh my god, your parents are doing the best they can, they're giving you everything. You know, many kids who don't have parents are on the streets, you should be very here, you know. So I started feeling like, oh my god, I shouldn't do anything wrong to annoy them. I should really be grateful and be happy for what they're doing for me. And it's such a thing, like it's such a bad thing because then you absorb that feeling, and then that's where my people pleasing side coming from. Anyway, so I'm going to do my concealer, light concealer, because I'm going nowhere. I'm just going to go and eat meat, but I'm going to just do a light concealer just. So yeah, I think one thing is, do not absorb that negativity that people will put on you who are not your parents. Your parents took you in and they knew what they were doing, you know. It's so they are treating you like any normal child, so there's no reason why you should feel the need to be extremely grateful unnecessarily and just put yourself in a space that, you know, they didn't ask for. So don't do that if you are a person who are like me, you know. So let me do my concealer, then I come back. Yeah, in a way, what I was saying, in a way, people like in a way that sort of like not robbed me of my childhood, but made me feel like I needed to do something to be cared for, to be loved. And I know that was not true. Now I know. But when you are a child, you don't know those things. So I mean, I don't understand why people want to project on children those things, because, you know, like the people who took them in knew what they were doing. But then you come and you start telling them, oh, you should feel a certain way because this and this and this and that. And for me, that just in a way messed up. Now looking back, I totally now can connect the dots and I totally understand. And I remember this one time when I was like, I think going through a tough time when I called off my engagement. Yeah, I felt so like I really missed my dad, But the thing is, I didn't even know him that much because he died when I was pretty young. But I realized that when you lose your parents pretty young, you start to romanticize what life would have been with them. Who knows? Life could have even been worse. You know, maybe he would have been a weird father. Maybe he would have been a father who's not present. Maybe my mom would have divorced. But you don't know all those things, yeah? But when you are like when they're not there, you start to romanticize what the future would look like, romanticizing what that would have been like if my father was here. Oh my god, life would have been easy. But you don't know that, you know. So I just want to encourage someone who is like dealing with that, like, you know, don't catch yourself when you are romanticizing what life would have been with your papa or your mama or whomever it is that has gone, because like you don't know. But I think it's much easier for us to romanticize than to deal with the reality anyway. So I'm going to just blend this in and come back because this takes forever and there's no way I'm going to talk through it. So let me just blend it and then come back. But for concealer, I use the Born This Way Too Faced, and I mix it with a Maybelline because I like how the two look. So let me just blend this in quickly and then I come back and we continue. Yeah, okay. Finish blending my eye. I'm going to my concealer. I'm going to set my under eye with, of course, the Laura Mercier powder. So yeah, and then the other thing that that happens, like when I realize that how you can deal with the loss is, I think for me it's just feeling the emotions, because I think the pain never goes away, you know. It gets better, but you will just always feel that, how do I say, that gap sometimes. But I also feel like one of the things that really helped me, I remember on campus, every time it would be like on a retreat, I would cry because I just really felt like, God, why? I was angry with God because I was like, why my parents? Like, why not other people's? Why me? Like, why did you choose me? Because I don't know, like, you know. But I feel like sometimes you just have to go beyond that and say, okay, it has happened. I mean, I can't change it. What can I do about it, you know? So yeah, that's how for me I feel like I just really, so I'm going to go in with a powder with a and just put where I did not, I don't like to bake because I'm just going to put the powder in those places where I did not actually put concealer. And yeah, so anyway, the thing is, just feel the emotions. Do not try to suppress them, because I feel like personally I had suppressed my emotions for so long until campus. And at campus, like every time we'd been a prayer retreat, guys, I would be wailing, crying, and I didn't know why, until one day God just said, you know what, release the pain, give it to me, let me deal with it. And trust me, guys, when I did that, I don't cry anymore over that. Like, it doesn't have a hold over me. I talk about my parents like normally, you know, like it's not a thing. Even at home, me and everyone at home talks about my mom normally, you know, like, oh, she would have liked to do this. And I feel like that just helped all of us to deal with the pain, because not all of us were just walking on eggshells around the thing, you know. So it's not easy, but it gets easier. But avoiding it or not speaking about it does not help, you know. You're just living in denial. So just face it. And I'm going to contour, to lightly contour, sort of that thing. I'm saying, yeah, like, just, I'm looking for my contour brush, just face it and do not live in denial, because no matter what you do, your parents are not coming back. They're gone. It's a sad reality, but it's the truth. Oh my God. Okay, I found these are all my brushes. They're in so many places. So I was saying that no matter what, your parents are gone. They're not coming back. But I think just sort of like talking about it with someone you care, someone trustworthy, someone trusted, but also, if you're Christian, just handing over your pain to God and letting God deal with it. Because, man, yeah, it's one of those things that is not easy. So I'm going to just contour my nose lightly and my cheekbones, and then I come back, yeah. Another thing that actually, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I've just contoured using a blush from MAC. So another thing that really helped me deal was just sort of like journaling and writing my feelings and emotions. I use the Benefit brow pencil. It's really good, and because I like my eyebrow subtle and stuff like that, so I don't like it so thick anymore. But you get, and also my eyebrows are microbladed, so that in a way helps it to, you know, like it makes my work much faster. So yeah, I'm running late for lunch, so that's why I'm trying to do this pretty quickly. But as saying, another thing that helped me was to journal. Like, journal your feelings. Do not be shy about them. Like, how you're feeling is how you're feeling, you know. And so just find a safe space where you can write your feelings and release them, because sometimes you don't feel comfortable talking about them with your caretaker because you feel like you don't want them to be uncomfortable or to, you know. So just find a space where you can write and journal your feelings. That always helps. At least it really did help me. And yeah guys, so I was running late, so I did my makeup off camera. I have my lashes on, and I've used my NYX butter gloss for my lips. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much guys for watching. If you are not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. And if you're going through a loss, I really send you my prayers. I hope it gets better. And yeah, just I know it's difficult right now, but wait. So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching. This is just my face, and yeah, thank you so much for getting ready with me. Let me run for lunch. Everyone has been calling me off the hook, and yeah, so I'll have a good day. See you.